Alrighty, what's up, everybody? Peter Gilmore here on this late Monday night. Once again, here on StreamYard. Yeah! Back again with another video right here on Killer of Demons 669. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and subscribe to all my other channels, which are down below in the description box. Friend me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Share this video all over the internet and tap that bell, turn on all my notifications so you never miss an upload. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. All right, in the description box below is more for you can watch it and give it a thumbs up. And I do got to get that fixed. I should just smash it to bits, but I'm not going to. It is what it is. So, on this late Monday night, it is time for your late night Monday Night Raw review for March the 9th, 2020 from Washington, D.C., the home of Batista. And the 2019 World Champions. Fuck you. Steven Strasberg can suck a fat cock. That's all I gotta say about that. And Max Scherzer can suck on these nuts. And the rest of the Washington Nationals can suck on these Mets nuts. That's all I gotta say about that. So, Monday Night Raw tonight, coming the aftermath of the Elimination Chamber, as we're on the road to WrestleMania. Was all right. It wasn't a great episode. We had some progression to WrestleMania, setting up some of the matches. We had actually one match made official. We're gonna actually make it more official next week, and a couple more storylines for the WrestleMania, for matches at WrestleMania, are being picked up with Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch. Maybe with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. We had a little altercation there, and then at the end of the night as well, you saw what happened. You had AJ Styles in the ring talking about The Undertaker. A little interesting shoot by AJ. Kind of a shoot, or shwork, whatever you want to call it. So a little bit of progression there, and we'll see The Undertaker next week. So that should be good with Stone Cold and maybe Edge. So next week's episode is going to be pretty big and stacked, if you know what I mean. Edge, Stone Cold, and The Undertaker. Feels like the Ruthless Aggression era already. Well, they were involved in the Ruthless Aggression era. Edge, Taker, and Stone Cold. Stone Cold some way. But when he was the commissioner, or the general manager at the time. But it is what it is. And then other than that, most of the matches were meh. But most of the show was decent to boring. But still kind of a right down the middle, down, like Bill Alfonso says. So, let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time that I already wasted talking up a storm. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Let's get into it. We start off the night with the man, Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, comes out to a mixed reaction. And she says the time for joking is over because she has a Mania opponent in Shayna Baszler. So we see highlights of Shayna just obliterating everybody in the chamber. And beating Asuka in the end to win the match and become #1 contender. And then we see a WWE exclusive of after the pay-per-view. We saw Shayna vowing to take the championship at Mania, and Becky can't do a thing about it. Bitch! Yep, she called it the B word. And not beautiful. And so Becky puts over Shayna. But notice that she's a scumbag and a black hole of charisma. Okay. Becky, she says she may be a bitch, but she's the one that runs the division. She then says Shayna is the biggest threat since she pried the championship from Ronda's broken hand. I didn't think she had a broken hand. Okay. Excuse me. And she's going to beat her like she beat Ronda, and says Shayna is underestimating her and she'll smash her face in for it. That remains to be seen, but not a bad promo from Becky. I think we're going to see Shayna on the show next week to start the hype. And we'll see what happens with Shayna and Becky if they're in the same arena like they were a couple weeks ago when Shayna bit Becky in the neck. And then, like about a week or so after that, doing the contract signing, they were in the ring together. And then a week or so, like a week before the Chamber, they're in the same arena, but they didn't come to blows or anything. But eventually, I think they will come to blows and beat the living crap out of each other. And then the Mania match should be pretty decent. Not gonna be great, but it'll be great when Shayna beats Becky for the belt, even though Vince hates her. I don't know what the fuck Vince is on, but I want it. I don't understand how you can hate Shayna Baszler. I really don't. The woman basically made the women's division in NXT. She held the belt for almost a year. During her second reign, she held about a little over almost a year. And she lost to Rhea Ripley. I mean, come on. Her first reign was pretty good, too. And then she lost it to Kairi Sane. And then she won it back from Kairi. So we get that. So we'll see what happens next week on the program. And we'll see what happens. And that's all I got to say about it. So I gave the first segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. Good opening segment and a good way to hype up the match leading into WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens next week on the show on 3/16 of Monday Night Raw with Stone Cold, baby. Stone Cold. Stop! So I wonder what he's going to do next week. Probably just come out and talk. And I'm going to drink some Steve Weisers. What? Probably beat up somebody. What? Going to give him a Stone Cold Stunner. What? Then I'm going to go back home, have another beer, then another beer. What? I'm going to be at WrestleMania. What? It's 3/16, so you know something's going to happen with Austin. Maybe Austin will be the referee for Agent on Randy Orton. Then again, anything can happen. Maybe Austin will be involved in Mania this year. Who knows? So we get that. All right, then we get to our first official match. Rey Mysterio, Booyaka Booyaka, takes on Angel Garza, the ladies' man. The Latin lover, I guess you can call him, because all the ladies know he's kind of engaged. He kisses freaking everybody. He's probably got the coronavirus going, God forbid. You don't know who he's kissing. Come on, Angel. I mean, think about it. You're kissing these random women on the cheek, might I add. Even though one woman tried to kiss his lips. And got this. And she tried to, she gives you like, and the Angel went, no. So, I mean, but really, Angel, you need to like kind of halt that a little bit, because you don't know if these women had the coronavirus or they got some type of virus. Gotta be careful. I mean, he kissed the freaking grandmother last week in Brooklyn, of all places. But that was probably the time of her life. And all these, I mean, the women he's kissed are not that good looking anyway. I mean, really, I mean, can you get like a hot looking Latino or a hot looking Asian to kiss him? Or kiss me? I mean, really? Come on. I mean, really, I can't fend off Kyrie and Asuka any longer. Those two are animals. I have to fend off Sasha Banks, you know, in the background, and you know, freaking, you know, got, you know, Io Shirai. I gotta keep them away. I'm a freaking animal. My dick came. But I digress. So anyway, we got Rey Mysterio and Angel Garza in the opening match. We got Zelina Vega at ringside, as always, looking hot. Good to see Rey back after basically getting his ass handed to him at Super Showdown. I forgot what match it was in. Anyway, but we get to the match. Match was not bad. It wasn't a bad match. Nice technical Lucha Libre style match. They go at it right away. Rey controls until Garza cuts him off with a super kick. Then he dumps Rey to the outside. Then he takes his pants off to the delight of the ladies. And he takes over Cambuckles, rips at Rey's mask, excuse me. Then he ties him up in the tree of whoa, beats him up. And basically Garza's in control to the beginning of the match. He looks for the 619, but Rey cuts it off and dumps Garza to the outside. He hits the sliding splash, say that 5 times fast, and connects with it. And then Rey goes on a little bit of a run and goes back in the ring, picks up a near fall. Garza quickly cuts him off, and Rey battles back. He looked for the 619. Garza counted into a super kick. Goes to the wing clipper. It gets countered, and they work up top. Rey goes for the Super Canadian Destroyer, but it gets counted into the 619. Actually, well, I take that back. He goes for the Destroyer, gets countered, but then he recounters into the 619. Then he hits the springboard splash to drop the dime, and he picks up the win over Angel Garza. And it was a pretty good match. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It wasn't a bad match. And Rey gets a little bit of revenge on Angel Garza after Angel DDT'd him on the concrete about a month or so ago. And put Rey out for a couple weeks. But it wasn't a bad match. So 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. And we'll see what happens with Rey as we move forward. I still think eventually, probably next week, I would think they'll do something with Andrade. Like, he comes out and then Rey, he starts beating up Humberto. Rey comes out and then Angel Garza comes out. They have a big, humongous brawl. And then Angel Garza and Andrade kind of come out of that. And then Angel looks at the U.S. title. And he looks on Andrade. And he looks at the U.S. title. And then Zelina Vega has to pull him apart. I hate to be her. But they're setting up the Fatal 4-Way United States title match at Mania, which I think Angel Garza will win. I really don't want to see Rey with the belt again because he's going to be leaving anyway. He's probably going to be gone from. He's going to leave WWE, maybe go to Japan, maybe go to AEW. I would say AEW, but I don't think he's going to go. I think Vince is going to stop that. Let's be real here. He's not going to AEW. That would be nice, but I don't think he's going to AEW. I really don't think so. So for all you people that want Rey in AEW to be with the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Zero, Miro, and Rey Fenix, maybe join up with Pac and the Dark Triangle and make it a bigger triangle. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think Rey will just leave WWE, eventually go into the Hall of Fame. Probably not next year. Probably in a couple years. I don't think it'll be next year, really. But I mean, he's worthy of the Hall of Fame. He is worthy. You know, former world champion, former United States champion, former tag team champion, I believe, cruiserweight champion. He's done it all in wrestling over the last, God knows how, 20 some odd years. When it was just little Ray, now he's like medium sized Ray. You know, but he's had so many big feuds back in the day with Psychosis and ECW, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero. You know, now with Andrade. You know, Brock Lesnar. I guess you could put that in there somewhere. You know, he got his ass handed to him. But it is what it is. So we'll see what happens with Angel Garza, Rey Mysterio, and company as we move on in the next couple weeks and see what happens with that. All right, then we get a video of earlier in the day. We see Kevin Owens coming in the arena, and he walks up to he has his gear, he has his suitcase, and he comes up to Murphy, Seth Rollins, and the AOP. He's like, oh, fuck. And Seth Rollins is eating popcorn. He's like, hey, Kev. Blah, blah, blah. And Kevin's like, oh, fuck. So he tries to beat up the AOP and fails miserably. And basically he gets his ass handed to him by the disciples of Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins himself. Throw him into like some equipment. Just basically beat the shit out of him. And that's basically that. So Kevin Owens gets his ass kicked after basically embarrassing Seth Rollins at the Elimination Chamber when he came in from the crowd eating popcorn. And then caused a distraction. And then later on, he stunned Seth Rollins. And after the tag title match, so it continues the Seth Rollins Kevin Owens feud, which is going to culminate at Mania in some type of match. Maybe I would think it would probably be I heard from, I forgot who it was, but a finishers only match where the only way to win is to use your finisher. So that could be good. Stunner versus the curb stomp. You know, maybe Kevin Owens will break out the pop-up powerbomb. Seth Rollins can break out the pedigree. He can break out the Phoenix Splash. Now he's used that in Ring of Honor, and won a title using that in Ring of Honor as he beat Austin Aries back at the 8th anniversary show. That was 10 years ago, and I was there. I was there to see that in New York City at was the Grand Ballroom. They don't go there no more. Not even there at the Hammerstein Ballroom. They have to go to Terminal 5. Ugh! And I have to go there in a couple of weeks to see In This Moment. And I already got my ticket. It wasted me money. Now I'm half broke again. And to top that off, I got the computer back today. So, hi again. So that cost me $81 to fix the damn computer I upgraded to Windows 8. So, cost me some money, but at least it's $81 and not like $281. It could have been worse. But thankfully, I got a guy. You got a guy. I got a guy that fixed it for a cheap price. Thankfully. Because if it would cost me $200, I don't think I would have been. I probably would have been on my phone by now. But I had to scrunch up some money to get a new laptop. But that's all. Excuse me. That's all I got to say about that. So good to be back on the trusty webcam. But now I'm doing live streams of my videos, which a lot of people will be doing now. Since Movie Maker is obsolete now. You know, it doesn't work on Windows 8, doesn't work on Windows 10. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they took it out. That's all I got to say about that. Enough about that. So we'll see what happens with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins later on. We have Seth Rollins taking on Aleister Black for the first time coming up later. It should be a good match. So we'll see what happens, and maybe if maybe Kevin Owens gets his revenge. We'll see, and we move on. All right, then, like I said, Stone Cold will be appearing on the 316 edition of Monday Night Raw. So we'll see what he has, what he is going to happen with him. We'll get that. All right, then we see the video of Rhea Ripley in Tampa video from last week's NXT, which is pretty damn good. Talks about, she wants to be different. She doesn't want to be like Charlotte. People comparing her to Charlotte. She doesn't want to be like Charlotte. She wants to be herself. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So speaking of Charlotte, she comes out, cuts a promo, comments on Rhea being the next big thing and new shiny toy for all of us to play with. And she's confused because Rhea wants to beat the best, but doesn't want to be like her. Charlotte says she will never be her since she's the only one. Enjoy the hype, it won't last. And she wants to teach Rhea a lesson because you can be in an empty stadium and another to be in a full stadium and be humbled by the queen. And then it brings out Rhea Ripley, comes out with her awesome theme music by Ash Costello of New Year's Day. Big ups to Ash. So, and New Year's Day as well. Hopefully they'll come back to New York sometime this year. But we'll see. I think they're doing overseas stuff, which gotta worry about that because of that stupid virus. Nobody's going. They still have freaking shows going on in Europe and Asia. Some bands are still in there. I don't know which bands. I don't even know who's there now. I think New Year's Day's in Europe. I think doing a European tour. I don't know if they came back to the States and canceled the European tour. But there's some tours that have been canceled because of this stupid virus. So for all you people that want to go overseas to see your favorite band, you can't. And now you got to worry about going to a concert with all these freaking people around you. You don't know if they have the virus. You don't know where they've been. You got to run the risk. And I ran the risk going to freaking WW once on last Friday night. And I came back fine. I'm fine. My health is fine. I'm fine. Sorry. I'm fine. This coronavirus is a joke. It's what it is. People getting freaking over. They're overreacting over a nothing fucking thing. Just like the swine flu, just like SARS, just like the bird flu, like the swine flu, Ebola. They're overreacting over nothing. And the media makes it more overreacting. It's like, oh, wait, all right, there are people buying Lysol, and oh, guess what I got? I found some hand sanitizer. Not that I'm going to use it anytime soon, but it is what it is. People just going fucking ape shit. They need to stop. Stop coming into the stores asking for hand sanitizer when there is none left. And stores are not going to be getting it because it comes from China. And you want to make makeshift hand sanitizer using bleach and vodka and rubbing alcohol, that comes from China too. Everything comes from China. Because those freaking Chinese people are fucking savages. Eating live bats. That's probably why we have the coronavirus, because they're eating live bats and live chickens and live cats and dogs, birds. You don't do it like we do here in the States. We just, skin the crap out of it. You do it the old-fashioned way. That's why the USA is number one. Japan. I love Japan. I've never been there, but I love Japan. I love the Japanese chicks and the Korean chicks and some Chinese chicks are hot, but I won't discriminate on that one. But Asian chicks are fucking hot. Some of them. The Filipino chicks are fucking hot too. And I used to date a Filipino chick. And look where that went. It is what it is. I don't discriminate. I date all people. You can't date me because I'm with Rosa now, so it's But good luck trying. Anyway, so getting back to Charlotte. So Rhea arrives. Charlotte cuts her off. He's like, oh, I'm gonna let you speak, but first I'm gonna speak. I'm the queen here. She says, this isn't NXT. This is Raw. This is her kingdom, and you are excused. You can take your leave. And then Rhea's like, fuck this. Boom! Bops her with the microphone. And Shaw's like, did she just hit me? Yeah, she did. So, straight to the point. Furthers the storyline a little bit more, which is good. Not the hype is, it's there. We'll have to see what happens on NXT this week from the Performance Center. If any ramifications come of it, if Charlotte goes down to NXT and fights, and goes after Rhea, well, nothing happens, and we have to wait till next Monday. But it's not a bad storyline. It's not that bad. For what it's worth, it's not a bad storyline, and the match should be pretty decent. Unless and I'm hoping they add Bianca Belair. I really don't want her to just do nothing. They have this number one contenders ladder match coming up at TakeOver. We already have Chelsea Green in there. I don't know if Bianca's going to be in that. I would put her in, but I'd rather have Bianca be at WrestleMania in a triple threat match with Rhea and Charlotte, make it a triple threat match and make it an actually good match. I don't know if they're going to give it to Bianca. They really should. She's busting her ass and paying her dues in NXT over the last couple of years. Why not give it to Bianca? But I think they want to go with Rhea for a little bit. She's only held the belt for a couple of months. So, I don't know. They're not going to give it I hope they don't give it to Charlotte at WrestleMania. It'll make no freaking sense. Charlotte's going to go to NXT and be in NXT for a little while. Because she's won everything else. Why not just give her the NXT belt for the second time? And make her an 11-time champion? Because she's going to break her daddy's record. So why not give her title number 11? But we'll see what happens with that as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania. So it was a good, short, straight, to the point. It's like, I came, I talked, beat you up, I'm out. That's it. So it was a pretty good segment. I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. And we shall see what happens on NXT this week or what happens next week on Raw from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of Kurt Angle and those pesky Penguins and the Pirates too. But the Pirates suck. So it is what it is. So good promo and did its job. That's all I got to say about that. All right, then we get to your squash match of the week. We had Bobby Lashley taking on Zack Ryder. Match didn't last a minute and a half. Thanks for coming, Zack Ryder. You got your ass handed to you. Lashley beat the crap out of the guy, and we got Kurt Hawkins at ringside too, but he couldn't even do anything. Lashley beats the shit out of this guy, hits the Dominator, and 1, 2, 3. That was it. And conspicuous by her absence was Lana, who was filming a Bruce Willis movie. So C.J. Parker that's her real name, is doing a Bruce Willis movie, and it should be, we'll see what happens with that. Maybe we'll see. Maybe she'll be back next week. If Bobby's doing anything next week, he's not doing anything for WrestleMania unless they put him in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which he probably will be in. I don't think he's. I really don't know if he's going to win it. I would have him win it. Let him go somewhere. He's not going anywhere. Just beating random fucking jobbers like Zack Ryder. I mean, what's next week? He's going to beat Kurt Hawkins? Boring. Nobody gives two shits about that. Nobody really gives. I don't give two shits about Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. After they won the tag belts and they lost them to the Viking Raiders, I think the Viking Raiders, I forget who it was. After they lost the belts, then Mystique went bye-bye. The little push went down the drain. That was that. So, thanks for coming, Zack Ryder. You can go back to catering right now with Kurt Hawkins and Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. Go back to catering, doing your jobs on jobbing on main event like Ricochet's doing. Oh, God. Ricochet was on main event going up against Eric Young. Boy, did he get buried. Buried in 90 seconds to Brock. Then he gets buried by Riddick Moss, another jobber, even though he has the 24/7 title. And then this week, he's on main event. I mean, what's next? Who did this guy piss off? Really? Who did he piss off? Did he piss off Vince? Because Vince has no faith in the guy. He's on main event. I think that you just like I said, I think last week. Well, I said it. I think I said last week that he should be freaking released or prepackaged. Go back to NXT. Really, go back to NXT because you suck. And to quote Shane Douglas, you suck then, you suck now. And too bad that Lucha Underground is history, after 5 good seasons. He was a star. He was a star on the Indies in PWG and in Lucha Underground as Prince Puma. But when he came to WWE, he had a pretty decent run at NXT. He won the North American title from Adam Cole, baby. Then he lost it. And then goes up to the main roster has a little feud with AJ over the United States belt, wins the United States belt like one time, and then lost it back to AJ. Then he wins that match to fight Brock, and he gets buried. I mean, like I said, who did he piss off? And why did he piss anybody off? Personally, I don't care why he's getting buried. I don't care. I don't know. I don't know why he's getting punished for all things. I don't know why. And that's all I got to say about that. Let me move on. Let's not waste any more time. We get highlights of Drew basically beating the crap out of Brock last week with not 1, not 2, but 3 Claymore kicks, laying him out, and then he holds up the belt. And we're going to see Drew McIntyre in action in a little bit. But first, we get Aleister Black in the back in his little room, and someone knocks on the door. He gets up, and in comes Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. Seth says Black has an issue with the OC, and he wants him on his side, so he's trying to recruit him. Black refuses, and Seth says, "You're with him or against him." And Black is ready for a fight, and since Seth knocked on his door, he accepts a match. So we're going to get Seth Rollins and Aleister Black for the first time ever. Should be a good match. and we'll see what happens with that. So I gave the segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. Out of 5 stars, not 5 stars, 5 stars. I can't talk tonight. It's one of those nights I can't talk. It's like my whole YouTube career. I can't talk. That's all I got to say about that. All right, then we get to our next match. Drew McIntyre takes on Eric Rowan and his cage with the robotic tarantula. This match lasted 2 minutes, and I'm surprised that Rowan got beat in a basic squash match to Drew McIntyre in 2 minutes. Match should have lasted a little bit longer. You think? Rowan charges, Drew jumps him and sends him into the ring post before hitting an overhead belly-to-belly on the floor. Then he takes the ring steps, and we see he takes the cage, picks up the steps, bang! Destroys the cage and the robotic tarantula to boot, so we're not going to see that anymore, thank God. Then he brings him in the ring. Well, he beats him up on the floor some more, brings him in the ring, hits the Future Shock DDT. Then he does the Claymore countdown. 3, 2, 1, Claymore! And hits the Claymore on Rowan, pinning Rowan to continue his domination. And he gets the win. Match I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Being generous there. So goodbye to the tarantula. And goodbye to Eric Rowan. Sucks to be you, isn't it? I mean, I know you're hyping Drew as this big freaking face, going after Brock, beating up Brock, embarrassing him last week, pushing this guy to the moon, and possibly winning the WWE title, though, that may change, and they make Brock win, and then Drew continues his fight getting to a title. Like, they're going to treat Drew like they treat Braun Strowman. And Braun Strowman should fucking leave the company after what happened. Giving the belt, losing the belt a little over about a couple weeks after winning it to Sami Zayn. And I know he gets his rematch clause. I don't know when that's going to be. If that's going to be at WrestleMania or not. He's probably going to lose that too, because I'm not going to give it back to him. So, and that's all I got to say about that. So, thanks for coming, Eric Rowan. Came, get my paycheck, get my ass kicked, and leave. The story of a jobber. That's what jobbers do. They come to the arena, they get their paycheck, they go out, get their asses kicked, and they leave. And that's it. So what happens when you're low to mid-card talent. Well, even lower than that. When you're really lower talent. Not on TV talent. Like No Way Jose and the others, like the Lucha House Party. But I digress. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And we move on. All right, then we go to the back. We see and his force in the back. Charlie Caruso comes up to him. And he's waiting on Edge to arrive as we see clips from last week with Orton RKOing Beth fucking Phoenix last week, which was fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. If you want to get on me for hating Beth Phoenix, fuck you, man. You know my distaste for Beth Phoenix. I mean, go on my PG Rants channel and watch that epic fucking rant I did on Beth Phoenix entering the Hall of Fame from about a year or so ago. That's climbing closer and closer to 1,000 views. Go watch it. That's all I got to say about that. So we'll see what happens with Randy Orton as Edge is on his way to the arena. And he's about to kick Randy Orton's ass. That's all I got to say about that. All right, then we get the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka and Kairi Sane, my two wives. They get in the ring. They cut a promo in Japanese and some broken English. And that's basically it. They talk about in the Elimination Chamber. They talk about Asuka's arm and her wrist, and basically that's it. You know, they're laughing up a storm. They're so fucking cute. They're so cute. Sucks are gonna lose the women's tag team belts at WrestleMania. If to Beth Phoenix and Natalya, most likely. And then the mystique of Kairi Sane and Asuka gonna go bye-bye. I'm gonna have to console them after WrestleMania. I'm gonna have to do my manly deed, fuck them in the ass and make them humble, and make them come 55 times. But that's all I gotta say about that. So we get that, and then we get to our next match: the Kabuki Warriors taking on Natalya and Liv Morgan of all teams. Both Natalya was taped up, Asuka was taped up with her wrist and her arm after the beating that Shayna Baszler gave them all. Liv came out limping. I mean, she got the crap beat out of her. So we get to the match, and the match wasn't that bad. So also with Liv and Kairi. Kairi backs off and slaps her in the mush. Liv takes offense to it and takes control. Tags in Natalya. They double team Kairi for a little while. And then Ruby Riott arrives to further the storyline with Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. The Riott Squad implosion. That'll probably come to a head at WrestleMania in a triple threat match. Most likely. So Ruby comes out. Liv doesn't know what the hell to do. She's like, what are you doing here? And Natalya works over Asuka as they go back and forth with near falls. And then they go to the outside, but Liv and Natalya follow them out and they attack them. Then they isolate Asuka, but Asuka takes control of Liv Morgan. After that, Liv battles back, hits a missile dropkick. Natalya joins in for double teams and covers for a near fall. And then Kairi attacks Natalya's injured arm, which allowed the champions to go back and forth, isolating her for a little bit. Asuka looks on armbar. Natalya fights it off with some strikes. And then Sarah Logan comes out to join Ruby Riott. And Natalya escapes with a scoop slam. And then out of nowhere, Sarah Logan just starts beating the crap out of Ruby Riott at ringside. And Liv Morgan just had enough. She goes to the top, hits a dive on the outside on the both of them. So that negates Natalya, who looked for a tag, and she had no one in the corner. So Natalya had to do it alone, and she runs around on Kairi until Asuka tags in and hits a sick kick right to the head of Natalya, knocking her out. And the Kabuki Warriors get the win. And easy peasy. We don't care. We don't care. So they get the win. Match gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. It was okay. Furthers the Riott Squad little storyline a little bit. Which, like I said, is probably going to lead to a triple threat match at Mania. Probably on the pre-show that nobody will give two shits about. But... And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And we move along. Excuse me. All right, after that, we get the OC arrive. And let me just check my time. Whoa. Probably going to do an hour video here. So the OC arrive. AJ's pissed that the Undertaker got into his business again. He stole the trophy in Saudi Arabia and cost him his match against Aleister Black at Elimination Chamber. AJ says he saw Taker lose to Roman at Mania and left his hat and coat in the ring where he could have rode off into the sunset. He says it was a beautiful and powerful moment that Taker ruined by coming back. And he wants him at Mania. And he says 10 or 15 years ago, he may have been afraid, but now he doesn't see this mythical monster anymore. He sees an old broken down man named Mark Calloway. You know, he said Mark Galloway. not Calloway, Galloway. Knowing your names there, AJ. It's not Galloway, it's Calloway. He says Taker keeps coming back because of his wife, Michelle McCool, and anything she wants, she gets. He says that she's the most conniving person he's ever seen, and Salsa tells Taker his wife will run him into the ground and he's going to help her, and he will make sure Taker dies in the ring at Mania. Then he kind of is like, okay, I take that back. I'm going to take his soul at Mania. So he went there, and he wants Taker in a one-on-one match. And you have nothing to lose. He says Taker has nothing to lose. You're a broken down old man, and the people don't care about you. And accept the challenge. And AJ's still bitter Michelle stole his finish years ago. Yeah, because Michelle McCool used to do the Styles Clash a couple years ago before she kind of retired. And didn't even do it that good. It wasn't even a good Styles Clash. Not great. But she was effective for her, but didn't look great. So AJ, great promo. Hit on all the points, and really, kind of mentioned Mark, of the Undertaker's real name that we all know as Mark Calloway. So they're kind of going into some personal territory, especially with him mentioning Michelle McCool, who may or may not be on television. I don't think she should. But if you want to piss off the Undertaker even more, beat the crap out of Michelle McCool, hit the Styles Clash on Michelle McCool. That'll piss off the Undertaker even more. But next week we're gonna get a contract signing, and you know what happens at contract signings, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody's going through a table, and it might be the Undertaker, because the OC will be there with AJ. And, Taker say AJ signed his death warrant. But I think AJ is going to get revenge on the Undertaker next week and put him through a table. Or at least beat him up. They might hit the Magic Hill through the table. But, and then Taker just sits up and is like, and he gets pissed. And that continues the storyline even further. And we may see Undertaker at the go-home show before Mania. And he beats up AJ, or he just does a promo. Just there to say, oh, I'm going to beat you, AJ, and you will rest in peace. And that's it. And then he beats the crap out of AJ in about three minutes at Mania. AJ will put over the Undertaker in 3 minutes, just like Ricochet put over Brock in a minute and a half. He got punished for that. But so we'll see what happens next week on the program from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the contract signing with AJ and the Undertaker. I assume Jerry Lawler is going to moderate this thing. He's got nothing else to do. That's all I got to say about that. And we move on from there. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's it. All right. After that, we got Randy Orton winning on Edge. Charlie comes up again, looking hot, as she always does. And Randy just looks over, doesn't speak a word, doesn't have to. Charlie looks amazing. Probably one of the hottest interviewers in wrestling history. No, not Renee Young. Get her off. There's been some, Maria was a good interviewer. She was hot, but, not as hot as Charlie Caruso. Eve Torres and Michelle, that Candice Michelle at one point doing some interviews. Christy Hemme was good back in the day. Not that she still is, but here's what it is. So we got that. So I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. All right, then we get to our next match for the 24/7 title. Riddick Moss defending against Cedric Alexander. Why is Cedric in this match. They're burying Cedric. I mean, can Cedric just get released and go to AEW or go back to Ring of Honor? Please? Vince, just release this guy already? Anyway, match lasted 2 stinking minutes, and Riddick Moss gets the win with that neck breaker he did last week to Ricochet. Oh, whoever he beat last week. I think it was Ricochet. So he gets the win to retain the title, and that was it. Yeah, I really don't know why they're pushing Riddick Moss. Riddick freaking Moss, a jobber in NXT. He gets a jobber title, and he's getting pushed. He's the longest reigning 24/7 champion right now. Because the title is meaningless. The title is fucking meaningless, ladies and gentlemen. So, that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I really gotta say. I really don't care. The 24/7 title should be blown up. And that's all I gotta say about that. All right, then we get MVP, of all people, doing a post-commercial promo. He says he's transitioning from in-ring to building a stable of talent. He says he will build his stable around a guy like Edge, who he can guide to greatness and back to championship glory again. So then we see Edge enter the arena, coming in a car. Gets out of the car. He has this little beanie on. Takes the beanie off. His hair is all graggly, and goes to the ring with a purpose, and tells Randy to grow a set and get his ass out here right now. So MVP's kind of pissed off about that. He says that Edge is unfocused, and he mentions Beth. So that pisses off Edge. He turns around, spears the crap out of MVP. And then Randy Orton comes from behind. And they start beating up each other. And then Edge shoves him off and hits the RKO on Orton. A beautiful RKO. And he hits Orton with the RKO, lays him out. Then he goes outside, gets a chair, and then another one. About to do some damage with the chairs, and Orton bails to the outside. MVP attacks him, so Edge locks in a head and arm choke, chokes him out. Then he hits the RKO on the chair. Then, to add insult to injury, he doesn't hit one, but 2 concertos. So we're not going to see MVP for a while, thank God. And that's that. So it was a pretty good segment. Randy didn't have to do much. Even though he got RKO. So Edge gets a revenge and furthers the storyline a little bit. So we'll see what happens with them going into next week's show in Pittsburgh. And we'll see what happens if a match will be announced eventually. But we'll see what happens with that when we move on to Pittsburgh next week. And that's that. So I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Right after that, we got a Paul Heyman promo. Talks about being with Brock for 18 years of domination. He talks about him beating Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Hulk Hogan, brother, The Rock, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, even though he didn't beat him in a match, even though he just attacked him and gave him the F5, doesn't mean he beat him in a match. And The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He says no one has been dominant for so long. And then Drew McIntyre interrupts, says it's true, but then Brock ran into him. And last week he proved there was no fluke, and he's going to Claymore Brock. He's going to Claymore Brock, knock him on his ass, and pin him to become the WWE champion. So not a bad promo from both guys. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars, and we'll see what happens next week on the program with Drew McIntyre, and maybe Brock appears in Pittsburgh next week. We'll see what happens. That's it. All right, then we go to the back. Edge is searching for Randy Orton. Charlie Caruso comes up to him, and Edge is like, "Where's Randy? Where's Randy?" And Charlie's like, "Oh, he left the building." So, yeah. So this is going to continue on into next week, and we'll see what happens with that, like I said. And that's that. All right, then we get to Seth Rollins and Aleister Black for the first time ever. We had Murphy at ringside. Match was all right. Kind of went back and forth. Getting to the end, Seth was beating up on Aleister on the apron with a knee strike. Aleister battles back with a flurry. A springboard moonsault takes out Murphy until Murphy attacks for the disqualification. So I wanted the winner, but we get a clusterfuck ending. And so the match I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then afterwards, they beat down Aleister. The AOP joins in. And guess what we get this time? With the Viking Raiders come out, then the Street Profits come out. And guess what we get? An 8-man tag team match, player. And to end the show, and it lasted pretty long. It starts off with Ford and Murphy going at it. Ford takes control, and they double team Murphy. Dawkins comes in, they cover for a near fall. And then Ivar and Akam tag in. They brawl until Eric joins in for some double teams. Seth cuts off Ivar, tags in Murphy, and Ivar fights him off. And then the Viking Raiders follow some double teams until Razor tags in, and Montez Ford works him over until Razor catches him with a 4-way slam. And they go back and forth. Ford fights back, tags in Eric, runs wild until Razor cuts off the dive, and Murphy hits Meteora. As we go to break, we come back. The heels are in control on Eric. Eric fights back, fights off Seth and Murphy breaks up the tag. The heels work together. They continue to isolate Eric. But Eric fights back, keeps and gets grounded. Seth takes out Ivar. Eric cuts him off and tags in Montez Ford, who goes nuts. AOP crotches him, and Akam works him over on the floor. Seth takes control in the ring. Murphy comes in, maintains control. Then Seth comes back in, working over Montez Ford. Ivar finally gets the hot tag. He goes nuts, and everybody's in the ring. Seth hits the Falcon Arrow, and then a bunch of finishing moves happen after that. They send AOP to the outside. The Viking Raiders hit up, dives to the outside. And then Montez Ford falls with a tope, knocking down everybody. And then he goes in, and Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp right away to get the win. Match was okay. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. Match wasn't that great, but kind of further storylines with all those guys. And then afterwards, Kevin Owens comes in, and he lays everybody out with stunners. And then Seth Rollins comes in, lays him out with not 1, not 2, but 3 blackouts or curb stomps. Lays him out, and he stands tall. And it looked like he was going to hit a 4th one as the show faded to black. But Seth Rollins, like Murphy was like he wanted to come in with the AOP, and Seth's like, I got this. So he laid him out with another curb stomp, and then another one after that. And then he's telling him, Murphy, like, I got it. So that was that. So that ends Monday Night Raw. And it was, like I said, it was a pretty good show. The ending was kind of meh. But it furthers the storyline with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. We'll see what happens with them next week in Pittsburgh. But overall, a pretty meh Raw. So I gave it a meh 6 out of 10 stars. But let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment or a video reply down below. If you have any questions, put it down below in the comment section of this video, or hit me up via Facebook or Twitter. My Twitter link is down below in the description box. So follow me on Twitter. Leave your questions in a tweet or a DM. And if you're on Facebook, just type in Peter Gilmore. You'll find me somewhere. And that's basically all I got to say about that. So thank you for watching this video. Check out my Elimination Chamber review in the description box. And continue to support this channel and my other channels as well down below. Subscribe to them. Tell your friends. Share this video all over the internet. But most importantly, tap that bell so you don't miss an upload. And turn on all my notifications so you never miss an upload. And YouTube can somehow, some way send out my videos to you guys. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So thank you for watching this long video. Hopefully you all liked it. And if not, well, too bad for you. And that's all I got to say about that. So thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your late Monday night. And have an even better Tuesday as we're getting into the middle of March. And lots of stuff happening. We got NXT this week, AEW from Salt Lake City, NXT from the Performance Center with some good stuff happening on the show. AEW gonna have a good show. We're gonna get the rules for Blood and Guts. It should be good with the Inner Circle and the Elite. So we're gonna see what the rules are for that double cage War Game style match on coming up in 2 weeks from Newark, New Jersey. That should be pretty fun. And that's all I gotta say basically about that. And we got one person watching, so let's say hi to everybody. Hi to the person that's watching. So anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. So thank you for watching, and I'm out. Peace, bitches.